Well, hey everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to my stream, and welcome to another chapter working on this guy right there. That's our P-40E Warhawk 1/32 scale by Hasegawa. So could you please run the intro and I can get started? Yeah, perfect. All right, thank you. Okay guys, so we're back and we're ready to continue. Last time we dealt with the wings, right? We got our wings put together, well at least our main wings, and we got our tail fins and everything all put on our fuselage, and so that's all done. Except we still got a couple little pieces, and we're gonna actually put the main wings on there, and then we'll continue on in the next page. So there's a couple little bits to put on our main wings. We didn't quite get it completed. So we have to put on our guns. The guns, yeah. Machine guns on the front. Now I've already done one side here. Just did a few minutes ago. And so we'll put on the other side. I've already taken it off the sprue. So I'll change the camera and we'll have a look. Okay. Alright, first I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Put that aside so I don't spill it. Okay, so main guns right there. You'll notice that the barrels don't quite sit right in the center of the bend. They sit kind of low, and you can see the curvature there, and you can see how they sit, how it's more to this side here. So that tells you which side is up and which is down. Hasegawa has the gate marks or nubs on the bottom side, so that's another indicator. And they are definitely lefts and rights, as this is wider than on this side. So we put them in like that, and it just sits in. Try and get it as, my thing is I want to get it as flush as I can on the top, and then any way that I can, any sanding that I need to do or anything, I'll take care of it on the bottom. So if I get it as flush as I can on the top, that's what we want to do. Okay, so let's grab some glue. I don't think at least there is not a kit that I've encountered where when you need to do this with the guns, that it actually lines up perfectly with your wings. There's always some kind of work that you need to do with it. To get it to play nice. Now again, the nice thing about this kit is I am not painting this in, you know, it's not a Mustang or anything like that, so I'm not going to be painting it with any kind of metallic finish. This guy's going to be camouflaged, and the camouflage color is going to take away from any little imperfections. It's going to hide them, because your visual focus will be on the camouflage and not on the individual little panels that seem to sit high or proud or whatever. So that is one nice thing about that. So I'm just make sure that's flat on there, and there we go. Okay, so that gun's in just like this guy. Okay, and this guy is sitting a little bit proud. There's not much I can do. A little bit of sanding will take that down and take the edge off, and that's what you need to do. Then that's what you need to do. It'll be a little worse on here, but not a big deal. Yeah, it's sitting a little bit high on this edge here, but yet it feels flush here. So this corner is a little high. Same with this one, it's a little high right there, but yet it's flush here. That's the nature of the beast. It's the way it is. Okay, so they would have us put our windows on the sides, on these sides here, but we've got a lot of painting to do first, and I don't want to put the windows on and then have to mask them off. So, and plus this has to be painted in here all around our green interior color. So windows aren't going on till later in the game. Okay, but we can put our wings on, I did do a test fit last time after it was all done with the wings. I let them dry, let the glue dry, and I did a little test fit. It fits pretty good. This is a little tricky to get in the back here, but a little bit of just getting it set perfectly flat like that, this goes in. And we've got a pretty decent little gap. I've got a nice edge right there, and yet this one is almost flush, so that's a bit of a disappointment. It doesn't look that great, and we've got pretty big gaps along our channels here that we're gonna have to, I think when I glue, I'm gonna get tape and bring it up like this and kind of close that gap a little bit and just flex the wings up. But as far as this goes, I'm going to have to sand that down because there's not much anything I can do to bring that in. Just the way the plane sits. The wing sits in there is just not much I can do. Okay, so let's put some, well actually I'm not going to use my thicker glue, I'll use my thin. Let's get that put back in. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's apply some glue. Start at the back here. I'm going to move my instructions out of the way for a moment, just so I'm not knocking anything around. There's the back part glued in. Okay, let's move up front here. I'm tempted to actually, I'd like to try and put a clamp on here. I know that's not going to work though. Looks like I'm going to be utilizing a little bit of putty to fill in gaps. Got a little bit of a gap right here. I want to fill that in. As much as I'd like to squeeze it in there, it won't really do anything. And then this side, of course, which is going to be sticking out until I sand that down and make it look a little better. Okay, now for the tape. So let's just put it like this for now, and we'll grab some tape. It's going to be a long strip of tape. Oh, and I just ran out. So much for that idea. Okay, well, let's just do this. So, bear with me here. Just bear with me while I grab another thing of tape. I think I've got another one in here. Yep. Good old Tamiya. Okay, like I was saying, a nice big long strip of tape. And we're going to go in here. pulling a little bit right now because I need to put another strip. Overlapping a lot to eliminate the chance of slippage. You don't want no slippage. Okay, so let's do some flexing. I'm going to kind of push down in the middle here while I put the tape up. There we go. I'll go right across here. See how that holds. I'd like to go a little harder with it. I'm going to do this. There we go. I've basically eliminated the gap in there. So let's get some glue there now. Glue along this edge. This is kind of the part that's going to have to wait quite a bit to dry. Because once I get rid of the tape, there's going to be quite a bit of pressure on this wing to go back. There's going to be quite a bit of pressure on that to want to sit down later. So I want to make sure the glue is really cured. I want to get a lot of glue in there and make sure it's cured. Okay, so with that being done, we can flip our page. We'll put this over here for now. We'll flip our page and see what's next. Alrighty. What's in step number 8? Oh, okay. So what they've done, I'll switch the camera back now. What they've done is they've given me exhausts that are 2 pieces, and we've got to assemble them all. So what I'll do is I'm not going to put them on yet. Again, these are going to be a piece that's going to be installed much later. But I will assemble a couple of them, 1 or 2 of them, just so you know, and then I'll do the rest off camera. So we're going to grab them off our tea tree. Let's grab our tea tree. Where is our tea tree? Tea, where's my tea? Tea. There we go. There's actually 2 tea trees because we've got two sprues that are identical, bing, just like that. 2 that are the same. So we've got 2 tea trees. I'm actually going to just take this off of here, just like this. Okay. Now, like I said, I'm only going to do 1. I'll do 1 or 2, and then that's it, because it's a little bit tedious and it's going to be boring to watch. So we're going to grab T1 and 4. So let's grab 1 and 4. Okay. Looks like these are small little guys that have to go together, which means my fingers are going to cover them while I'm trying to show you. These are kind of where, yeah, they're okay, but if you could find resin ones that are one piece, that's going to go a long ways for you as far as ease of installation. So though these work, they are hollow. You can see there is a hole there. See the hole in the middle there? I'm sure you can get a little bit better with a resin piece and be a little bit better looking, but I mean, it does the job. And so I'll have to do this on, well, what have you got? 2, 4, 6. I've got 11 more of these to do. So, like I said, I'm going to do the rest off camera. But that's what you need to do with all your exhausts. So we'll move on. There's a couple little bits we're going to be working on the bottom here. We're going to assemble a couple of things here. Our air, I guess, I'm not sure what these are called. Air vents, air exhaust. As the air comes through the bottom here, we've got those fins that come out and allow air to pass through. So we're going to do that guy. A4 and then Q1. Okay, A4 and Q1. So here this is our O tree. I don't know where my Q tree is. It's S. Oh yeah, that's Q, okay. All right. A4 is obviously this guy here. Okay. And Q. Q is this sprue here. We want Q1. This funny looking guy right here. That guy there. I'm sure if he could hear me, he probably wouldn't appreciate me calling him funny looking, but almost every single part on this sprue has little nubs on them that needs to be cleaned up. I'll clean all those up off camera, but yeah, every single one of them, including these guys, have a funny looking little nub on them. Even the nub is funny looking. That's not true, it's just a little, looks like a little ball. There we go. Okay, so looking at the instructions, they show you how they're supposed to lay down onto the piece here, like this. Okay? And they go right into this little notch there and there. So they kind of show them like this and sitting like that. They did not really manufacture them very well. See, they've got these two little holes here. It implies that something's supposed to go in those holes, but yet I don't see. Oh yes, there is. O28 is supposed to line up and go into those. So these guys, although they kind of sit they don't really. There isn't really a specific channel for these guys to go in. They sort of do, but they sort of don't. Tape's not supposed to come off. What's going on here? What kind of tape comes off of itself like that? Ridiculous. Tape doesn't hold to itself. I'm not seeing a lot that's going to interfere with my fitment, except the little ridge in there. If I don't have them in the right spot, they could interfere with that as it goes in there. I just have a feeling, I got a feeling, if you put this back too far in the channel, like say right up against the edge, it's going to interfere on the channel that's on the actual fuselage. Now I might be overthinking it. I really don't know. That's how I'm going to put them, is like that. Okay, so let's grab this glue. There we go, that's about as close as I can get it to where it's supposed to be. Just like that. Okay. Okay. So, I'll get the other one out here. In theory, they won't interfere with anything when it goes to putting them on, putting the piece in. All right, so we'll let that sit for a minute. And we'll look at this guy here. Some kind of a pod of some sort. They don't mention exactly what this is. So we'll just see these. A21 is our base. Okay. This guy here. And then off of our O tree, O15 and 16. 15 and 16. So we'll put these two halves together first. Put them together. And then we'll clean up our nubs. We'll actually let this sit for a minute. Let the glue dry. Okay. I don't know how long that was frozen for. I look up and there's my camera sitting there frozen. Sorry guys. In case we missed it, because I don't know how long it was, we took our O, 15, and 16 and put them together just like this. Okay. And so we've got our big hole there. We need to find V8. V8 is of course a clear piece. Looks like that. It's a little round thing that's got an angle on it. V8. Where are we? 6, 7, 7, 8. Right here. Okay. We have to clean this up because it's got a big nub on it. And of course the nub is right where it's going to go into that hole. So it's definitely one of these, another one of these pieces that I'm sure this piece would love to be fed to the carpet monster or fall into the abyss, whatever you might call your floor. Okay. It does have an angle on one end as it shows in the picture here and shows which direction it's supposed to go in. And we're supposed to go inside here. And it doesn't want to go because we've got a bit of an edge on it. Clean this up. Even to the point of maybe putting a bit of a chamfer on it. Let's try this again. Got it in there. I'm not sure how far it's supposed to stick out. They don't show the, they sort of show the assembled piece. I don't know if it's actually supposed to stick out or if it's supposed to be flush. At the end of the day, they basically tell you to paint it the same as the underside. So why even bother with a clear piece? I don't know. But there we go. She's in there. And she's glued in there. And that's that. So now, as promised, I'm going to smoothen this up a little bit to give an illusion that this is one piece and not two halves put together. So just kind of sand down my two halves and get that seam line hidden. And then on the bottom I've got nubs, so I need to clean that up. Whoops. Can always drop it and throw it away. Now, all that is so that we can put it on this piece. This is our base. It's going to go on our base like this. this. It is kind of interesting. It's sitting at an angle. You see the angle it's sitting at? It sits at an angle. Like that. And this guy's going to go on the bottom of the wing right there. Okay. Interesting enough, we have no holes drilled for it to go. It goes right here. I don't remember them telling me to drill any holes in that part of the wing. I'm gonna go back and take a look. Let's see, did I make a mistake or did they not tell me? Usually I've made the mistake of not noticing it. But they show two holes here, but they don't point it out at all. Oh yes they do, they point it out right there. So right here, and I missed it. So that's on me, that's my bad. So that means I get to shave these off. What I'm gonna do, I need to change my glasses. I keep having to take my glasses off and on and off and on and off and on, and that's making me frustrated. So because I forgot to drill the holes in the wings, I need to shave these nubs off, okay, and make them flush. That's just not gonna work now. So our guide pins are gone now. We got a flat piece, and he's gonna go right here. It looks like he's supposed to line up right about here, just like so. That's good enough for me, just like that. Let's glue him down. I want to make sure he's straight as I can anyway. Looks pretty good. Okay, just gonna hold him there. There we go. And there we go, so he's glued on. Alright, so we have a couple of little bits at the back here. We've got a lot of little clear pieces that go on, but yet we're just painting them the same color as the surface. And so there's not much point why they made them, why we're putting on clear pieces. Sorry, I have off camera. So a couple of clear pieces like V4, V6, these guys go on and they're clear. V5 is another clear one, but we just painted the same color as the plane, or at least these guys, at least V4 anyway. V6 might remain clear. We're supposed to paint underneath number 8. I don't know what color number 8 is, because I missed it. Number 8, silver. Okay, yeah, so it's supposed to be silver underneath there. And then, so I'm going to leave those out, V6 and V8. We're going to leave those out for now. But V4 we can put in. There's two of them. V4, these two guys here. One and two. I have a feeling this piano version of Comfortably Numb is going to get me demonetized on this video. Okay, get it out of here. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so our V4s go back into these little spots here and here. It looks like I got a little bit of flash in that one. That would have prevented that from going in there. That fit nice and flush. That was a nice thing. This is another one of those things. Why did they make me put these in? They could have easily just molded this. Considering these are supposed to be painted the same color as the fuselage underneath. So why bother? Why bother making me? Why do we have to put those in? You know, and of all things to make them clear when you need to paint them. That just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, that's that. Okay, also working at the back here, we have J6 is a little rod that's supposed to go there. Let's find our J tree. It's A. Oh, there's J. We're really moving around on the spruce today. J6. There's 1, 7, 6 right here. This little rod. This guy right here. Okay. And a nub at each end. Okay, and he's going to go where do you go? You go right here. I'm going to clean up my edge here. He's going to go right here. Getting him lined up, getting his pins lined up is... Come on, man. There. There we go. Okay, he's in. And then we got A11. This is a little cover that's going to go over top of him. We have two similar ones, A11 and A12. I'm guessing A12 is not going to be used. A12 must be a different version of this plane. Okay, I'm going to use my razor file on these nubs to get that cleaned up. Because they're right on the edge, and I don't want to unnecessarily make a gap. There we go. Okay, and he's going to go over top, just like that. Look at the gap in there. That is horrible. That is a horrible gap, and I can't adjust it because of the guide pins for this piece, because of these guide pins here, I can't slide this further close. I'm going to get rid of the guide pins. Sorry, guide pins. Sometimes you do a great job, but sometimes you hinder things. And in this case, they're a hindrance. So now with those gone, I can get it up. It's actually still not any better. Terrible. Oh well. It is what it is, I guess. Oh well. It is what it is. It's a huge gap. It looks kind of unsightly. I'm going to have to look at some reference photos and see if that's supposed to be such a huge gap. You see that? That's huge right there. It's actually, this piece is actually chamfered, so instead of going right up against it like this, it actually goes like this and goes down a little bit and kind of tucks in. So I'm going to look at reference photos to see whether I should fill that in with putty or not. Anyway, we have J7 to go into this little hole. J7. Where's my J tree? Number 7. This funky looking little guy right here. J7. Don't want to drop it because it is pretty small. Now the orientation is a little confusing, but it looks like the pointy side is supposed to go towards the back. If I'm guessing by aerodynamics, as it is kind of the teardrop shape. And of course, in everything related with aerodynamics, you always have the round shape forward and the pointy end back. There we go. Alright, he's on. It's not the best fit because this isn't exactly flush. And because that's not exactly flush, he doesn't fit exactly flush. I mean, this is close, but I could press it down a little bit and make it a bit more flush. That looks a little better, actually. Okay, let's move this to the side and see what's next. So they got some landing gear bay doors that they would have me do, A31 and 30 put on there, but because of the nature of these guys being painted chromate on the insides, I don't want to install them yet. So they're gonna wait. But we can put J8 in the middle, in there, J8. J8 looks like a bracket for a bomb or the fuel tank. This guy here. Kind of looks like it's supposed to go, there's a front and a rear on it. looks like this peg sits right flush with this edge. As you can see, I put it against the knife. This is flush there. But this side is not. This peg sits back just, I don't know, about 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters. It sits back just a little bit. And so looking at the picture, it looks like the flush side is going front. You can also tell with our actual mounting pegs, this peg is a lot closer to this side than this one is. This one's got a lot of gap. And they show that actually at the front. So what I said, ignore what I said a minute ago. And in fact, where it's mounting is a pretty good indication of exactly how it's supposed to go in. Just like that. Because if I turn this around, she ain't going in proper. That ain't right. That boy ain't right. So, there we go. Put some glue in there. There we go. So there's our part of our bomb mount. It's a bomb or fuel tank, whatever you're going to put here. Part of the mount, because we got the arms that are going to go there too, right? And so just so you can see that piece that I put on the bottom there, there's that guy there. And we've got this guy on there, and that is pretty much everything on the bottom except for our little clear pieces, one here. But that's got to be painted silver, and then that guy there. But I haven't even done the bottom painting of this yet, so we got a lot of painting that's going to be coming up as far as this guy goes. But it looks like, except for these couple little pieces, including this guy, I don't want to put him on quite yet. Actually, I think I could. The problem with putting this stuff on and then painting later is, you know, it's supposed to be the green chromate, but then, see, I gotta clean up my nub here. Okay, just doing test fits on this. That looks good. So there's 2 more pieces to go in before I put this on. O27 and 28. These 2 little pointy guys right there. Let's move this for now. Get these on, and that's 27, 28. So this is 28. 28 goes on this side, and it's supposed to go into that little hole. Just like that. Okay, and then 27. Goes into this side. that. They're both kind of weird. This one, 28, drops all the way down into the hole. 27 is tighter and is sitting higher. It's in there now. I just want to make sure that when I'm looking at them, they're both at the same. See them here. They're both the same. Look pretty good. There's a little bit of play in them, which I guess is good because it'll help line them up to those little holes that I pointed out earlier on this piece. So let's put some glue in here and in here. And we'll see how we can get this lined up. If we can get these lined up. .28 looks good. 27 is not quite. It's close. As long as I do it with the glue wet, I can adjust. Our curvature is not perfect on this piece. It's close, but it's not perfect. Kind of want to hold it for a minute to keep it flush. That looks pretty good. I think I'm actually going to have to hold that down for a couple of minutes. Actually, no, it's set pretty good. It's holding. Okay, so that's that. So I feel like I got lucky in my little rods there, the what were they? 027 and 28 on the inside there and there. I feel like I got lucky in those lining up perfectly. Just simply because of where they are. I feel like I got lucky there. I don't know. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it for today. Take a look. We're going to let all that dry, all those bits dry. Next is going to be, well, we could assemble the two halves of the fuel tank, I guess. I mean, like I mentioned before, I'm not going to do the bomb. I'm going to do the fuel tank. The fuel tank is simple, guys. It's just two halves. And, you know, this style of fuel tank, it's not like a modern one where they're perfectly smooth all the way around. These old fuel tanks from the early 40s, they were two halves put together with a ridge around them, So this side here, the upper side, has the ridge that goes around the perimeter, and then you put the two halves, and you've got that big edge there. You've got the big edge there that is visible on the real ones. It's like the welding seam, or I don't know, the crimp. Maybe they're crimped together. Anyway, there's our fuel tank. Nice and simple, right? So anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. Next time we're going to deal with landing gear, and we'll probably get some painting done on the bottom of the fuselage. I think so, because we're going to start having to put some bits on the bottom, and I don't want to put any bits on the bottom until we've got some paint laid down. So maybe we'll do that next time too. We'll get some paint laid down, and yeah, we'll take care of that. I want to remind you guys, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're like a handful of subscribers away. So when I get to 1,000, you guys know, you guys have been watching my channel, you know, when I get to 1,000, I'm going to do a collaboration series with my fiance, and we're going to build a couple of Porsches together. So the sooner that I get to 1,000, the sooner we start on that project. So please hit that subscribe button down there. Just do it. Just do it. There's like maybe 8 or 9 of you left. Like, come on, guys. Anyway, also hit the like button if you like this stuff, and leave a comment down below too. Let me know how you feel. If you think this stuff is boring, if you want me to do things other than World War II planes, let me know. If you prefer me doing tanks, if you prefer the cars, let me know. I know none of you really prefer the Gundams, so yeah, don't worry about that. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching, and thanks for coming out. Thank you for all the support and the great comments that I read in all my stuff. I do try to reply to every single comment, so yeah, feel free. And I guess we'll see you all in the next one.